Hello everyone. So I bought the Pathfinder Bestiary Pawn Box. Um, so inside it, here's all these little bases. I counted there is 5 huge bases, 10 large bases, and 20 medium bases with 1 blue medium base. I don't know what the deal is with that. I mean, I get that they'd want like a base for like the player characters, but this is a bestiary box. There's not going to be any player character races. Like there's not really like humans or elves or dwarves or anything that you can really use. This isn't the kind of set for player characters. But if they did want to do that, they should probably have added more than just the blue one. But here I'm mostly going over just like what's in the box. I'm not really going to try to describe every single one, but if you were curious, there are depictions of creatures that were not depicted in the bestiary. For example, there is like a large statue that's depicted in the bestiary, but not a regular one, where in this you would see one. And this is just because I looked at A through C of the pawns, and I saw that there is still plenty of pawns of things that weren't depicted in the bestiary. So just with A through C, I found that. However, I did notice pictures in the bestiary that did not have a pawn, and I quickly realized that was because they were gargantuan creatures, and this set only goes up to huge. So if you want a gargantuan creature, you can't really do that with this either. As far as mistakes, I'm sure it'll vary from person to person, like with the prints. Mine looked fine. Everything was sort of in the right spot. Like it didn't look like anything was like half off. But there was one issue with a creature. I forgot what it was called. I think it was Algolthu scum. It's like a aqua humanoid, like a iguana looking thing. But what happened was on the back end of it, it was the exact same picture. Like usually what they do is they reverse the picture, but with it was the exact same picture, but then the text was reversed. So that was clearly a mistake. But the good news was it was a duplicate. It was one of 2 of the same pawn, so it wasn't a big deal, and it's not really the kind I would use in a campaign probably. But that is something to look out for. I'm not sure if that's going to be in everyone's sheet, but that was something I noticed in my sheet. There's 26 sheets of cardboard from what I counted. I didn't count exactly how many creatures there were, but like I said, it looked like there was a depiction of creatures that were not depicted in the bestiary, so, you know, that's pretty good. If you wanted to see what a certain creature looked like that didn't show up in the bestiary, you'd probably see it here, unless it's gargantuan, or bigger than huge. Also with the cardboard, it hasn't gotten any better since like the other pawn sets. The cardboard is still not the cardboard, but the cuts themselves. Pushing them out will be difficult. You still have to be careful pushing them out, because I've had a couple try to like rip the outer layer, like where the printed paper is. So that's something I'd worry about. Be careful with that. But yeah, I'm mostly just showing you all of them. This is pretty shitty quality with the way I had the phone set up. I forgot how phones worked, and that I should have started on the side. Fortunately, I didn't do anything weird where I tried to move it to the, like where I tried to make it horizontal after the fact, which helps a bit, but it's still shitty because it's vertical. I fucking hate it. I'm talking after the fact. I'm sure you could tell. And so I'm looking at this video and I'm like, this is so stupid. But while I'm talking about it, let me tell you my other gripes of people who review these kind of things. I hate it when people like show their face. Like, I don't care about your face, and they'll show like, let's just sit there and like talk about their personal issues or whatever before showing me. Like, I know why you're here. You want to see the pawns. You want to see what's in the box, you know. So I'm showing you what's in the box, and you know that's all it takes. But then they're just there. They're like, hey everyone, I'm gonna have the camera pointed at me while I pick up bits and pieces and show them to you from like a weirder angle or whatever. And it's like, no, just show me the pictures. No. But yeah, so I don't have too much to say. I don't have too much to say. It's like it's got everything. I was very surprised when it turned out it actually had depictions. It had pictures. It had pictures of things that weren't in the bestiary. I, honest to God, thought it was just going to be the same pictures in the bestiary. And a lot of the pictures are. A lot of the pictures are reused pictures that from the bestiary. Obviously, they're not going to waste their time making a new picture. But I don't know. From what I see, it looks like a lot of the pictures are different from like previous pawns. Like they use different pictures for these creatures. But while I'm talking about pictures and stuff, goblins, not goblins. Like goblins are cool. I love goblins, but I don't like that they change. Like I understand why they changed like bugbears and hobgoblins to look more like goblins. So that way it makes sense. But I don't know. I liked it more when the hobgoblins looked a bit more humanoid, you know. So that way you kind of get an idea that they're going to be a bit more mature, a bit more tolerable than a goblin, you know, just because they got like a more regular shaped head. But now they look like they're just as fucking nuts. They look like they're just as crazy now. They're just a taller goblin now. I don't know. That's how I feel about it, though. But with this set, there's plenty of kobolds and goblins. There's not that many zombies. So if you're a zombie, if you like having zombies, you know, with no moral dilemma when your heroes are killing creatures, I'm sorry to tell you that there's not that many zombies in this list. There's plenty of like goblins and stuff. I really love the fucking leshies. I love the pumpkin one, pumpkin leshy, best leshy. But yeah, there's also a lot of dragons. I've noticed. I didn't realize how many creatures started with the letter D in the bestiary until I went through this. There's a lot of them. Like a third of creatures start with the D because of all the dragons and drakes and demons and whatnot. But after this, I'm going to go over something else. I got rid of the box because it was getting hard to get the cardboard out of the box. But yeah, there's plenty of everything here. I don't have too much to say. Like, I don't know. I'm mostly just rambling on at this point. I'm sure you figured that out. Oh, something that bugs me is about any pawn really. It's just the inconsistency with like shadows. Like sometimes creatures will have shadows. But here, so these are old miniatures, and I'm using the miniatures to sort of show you like the angle. Like the artwork is usually like the miniature is usually based on the artwork. So seeing that it's different is to go over the fact that they are using different artwork because these are older miniatures that would not be based on this artwork.